Back in the 1990s, backpacking around Europe and around the world was the in thing. Everyone used to do it. People used to do it on their own. But then it all changed after a spate of murders. Then people started doing it in pairs because it was a lot safer. Backpackers went missing all around the world. Figures were high. Some disappeared, some were murdered. Some cases were solved, some cases were unsolved. But the killings of 7 backpackers in Australia that inspired the movie Wolf Creek has to be the most creepiest of all cases. Between 1989 and 1993, there was a spate of missing backpackers in New South Wales. Near the Belanglo State Forest, 15 kilometres southwest of New South Wales. On the 19th of September 1992, 2 runners discovered a concealed corpse while orienteering in Belanglo Forest. The following morning, police discovered a second body approximately 30 metres from the first. Police identified the body as Clark Walters. Walters had been stabbed 15 times, 4 times in the chest, once in the neck, and 9 times in the back. Clark had been shot 10 times in the head at a burial site, and police believe she was used as target practice. In October 1993, a local man searching for firewood discovered bones in a particularly remote section of the forest. He returned with the police to the scene where 2 bodies were quickly discovered. Police discovered 2 bodies and they were later identified as Gibson and Everest. Gibson's skeleton was found in a fetal position. The body showed 8 stab wounds. A large knife had cut through his upper spine, causing paralysis, and stab wounds to his back and chest. Everest had been savagely beaten. Her skull was fractured in 2 places, her jaw was broken, and there were knife marks on her forehead. The last 3 missing backpackers were found in November 1993 along a fire trail, buried in shallow graves. One of the victims had been shot in the head 6 times. Police also believe that the victims didn't die instantly of their injuries, that they were basically tortured. The police launched a full-scale investigation with over 20 detectives. On the 30th of November 1993, police received a call from Paul Onions, aged 24, who lived in the UK. Paul Onions had been backpacking in Australia and was hitchhiking from Liverpool Station and accepted a ride from an unknown man calling himself Bill. Less than 1 kilometre from Belanglo State Forest, Bill stopped and pulled out a revolver and some ropes, stating it was a robbery. Paul Onions managed to flee, but he was pursued by Bill and Bill shot at him. Onions flagged down Joanne Berry, a passing motorist. They both went to the police and spoke to detectives about the encounter. Police believed they had a suspect in mind, and on the 26th of February 1994, police surveillance of the Millard House in Cinnabar Street began. After numerous investigations, the police believed they had their suspect. So on the 5th of May 1994, Paul Onions positively identified Mullett as the man who picked him up and attempted to assault him. Mullett was arrested at his home on the 22nd of May 1994 on robbery and weapon charges related to the Onions attack after 50 police officers surrounded the premises, including heavily armed officers. Mullett appeared in court on the 23rd of May but did not enter a plea. On the 31st of May, Mullett was also charged with the murder of 7 backpackers. On the 27th of July 1996, after 18 weeks of testimony, Mullett was found guilty of all 7 murders and was given a life sentence on each count. Police maintain that Mullett could have been involved in more attacks and murders on more backpackers that were missing. They also believe he didn't act alone and he may have had an accomplice, but no one else has been arrested in connection with the murders, which means the other person is possibly still at large. Ivan Mullett died on the 26th of October 2019. He was aged 74. His nickname was Bill. He was also called the Backpack Killer, the Backpack Murderer,